So let's talk low cost meals. Let's put this in English here. Canada. Second language, French. Most of us can't speak it. Anyway, so wherever you can find a deal, and when they're on sale, scoop up a whole bunch, and that way you've got them. Because if you can get them, you know, like sometimes even No Frills has like $1 and $2 deals here in Canada. Like that's a real steal. These are organic, and this is what I prefer. But if I can't find it, then I'm going to have regular, because it's better to have it than to not eat it at all, right? And then mixed vegetables. This is something that's not a very common thing here. I don't purchase this very often. This was purchased because of the traveling, just in case we needed quick veggies, but I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to use it. So I think this was just over $1 for this can, and there's like a lot of veggies in here. This is 425 grams. So again, if you can't get fresh veggies, opt for canned veggies, opt for frozen veggies. It's going to be cheaper even than fresh, and that way they won't go bad as fast. Also, like if you're so fixated on having just raw veggies or fresh veggies, and then you're like, oh, it's too expensive to buy too many. Well, wouldn't it be better to just buy the canned stuff, and then that way you're eating more veggies than not having them at all? I don't know. That's just my way of thinking about it. You guys do what, you know, you think is best. So only, you know, you can make the decision for yourself, but I'd much rather have, you know, the regular fresh veggies and then opt for frozen usually, and then on occasion a canned veggie. That way I'm getting enough. I'm getting a variety and I have it covered. So as far as the chickpeas go, I'm making brown rice, and then I will have my mixed vegetables on the side. I'll probably just throw a little bit of soy sauce on top. Chickpeas can be seasoned if you want. You can do them in a stovetop with whatever seasonings you like, just to jazz them up a bit. But honestly, I'm just eating them plain. Like I'm rinsing them and I'm gonna have them plain. Put a little bit of hot sauce on it. Like I'm really like fuss free right now. I'm not even gonna worry about it. But again, you could definitely jazz them up by adding a lot of seasoning. If you use oil, you can go ahead and do that too. But we're trying to stay as oil free as possible. And yeah, that's just basically how I'm rolling. I just want my fiber and my protein, and I'm gonna get it through this. So I'm gonna put a bowl of these and then a bowl of veggies on the side, and then I'm gonna put rice in my bowl. I'm gonna put some of this and some of this. And then if I had sprouts, I'd put sprouts on top as well for added nutrition. I don't have any right now because I have to go shopping, but that's one of my faves. And then you can make a dressing. If you wanted to do a dressing just to jazz up your meal, that's a great way of not having to worry about seasoning your beans or whatever. You can just throw a nice dressing on top. But yeah, the options are endless. Okay, so here is the veggies that have been rinsed, ready to use. Those are the chickpeas that have been rinsed, looking lovely. And then my brown rice is just in there. It just turned off, but I'm gonna let it pressure release on its own. So the brown rice. And then I made a dressing, homemade dressing. Super easy, some cashews, some filtered water. I put a garlic clove in and a whole bunch of fresh basil that I have growing in the house. And then I also put salt and pepper. So another budget-friendly thing for me is no waste meals. So I had rice that was left over, brown rice, and I had veggies. So one of the meals that I like to make is like a Chinese fried rice. And I grew up eating this, being, you know, like plant-based and vegan since I was a kid. This was just a go-to meal that's very comforting and filling. So if you can't afford tofu, no big deal. You know, I buy it in bulk or on sale all the time. I never buy it at full price anyway. But if you can't, no big deal. Go for like a white bean, like a navy bean, whatever white beans you have on sale, because it'll work really well with this recipe. I've done it before, and it'll still kind of take on that coloring, so it kind of looks like egg in the fried rice. So yeah, I mean, the possibilities are endless. This is what I like to do. I'm using the whole block of tofu because this is going to be a lot of meals, and it's protein rich, of course. So I just kind of break it up. If you wanted to break it up smaller, even better, because it'll be more like egg in your recipe. But you know me, I'm just fuss free. It's just big chunks. And then you can go ahead and add whatever seasoning. So I like to add like black pepper. I add some curry powder. I didn't have any turmeric, or I would add just a tiny dash of it. And then I do like the poultry seasoning, which is like a lot of herbs mixed together. So I always add a little bit of that. And it's from Target. It's like super delicious. So yeah, just a little bit of that. And then I don't add salt because I add soy sauce, so I skip the salt. And I just basically cook that down, and I throw in my leftovers and just warm up the rice and the veggies. And literally your meal is done. Like, how easy is that? If you needed to, you could add water to your pan so that you're not adding oil to add extra calories. Unless that doesn't bother you, then go for it. But I typically just try to use like nothing on my pan, and if it really starts to stick, then I'll add a tiny touch of water. But that is it, a protein-rich meal that is super healthy, very filling, and like I said, I've been eating this since I was a little kid, and it's just my go-to for no-waste meals as well. So I'm using brown rice in this recipe because that's typically what I have at home. I prefer brown rice because I feel a little more full when I'm eating brown rice versus the basmati or any other white rice. But whatever you can find that's on sale that you actually prefer and enjoy, then go for that type of rice, because it's just going to go a really long way. A bag of rice will last you for ages, and you'll be able to make so many meals. So yeah, and if you don't like rice, you're not a rice person, then just substitute with some potatoes. Not a big deal. You can do potatoes chopped up and saute those, and that would be super delicious as well. And again, they don't cost a ton of money. You can buy a bag of potatoes at a really low cost as well. So one of my quick and easy meals is a pasta salad. I always have pasta on hand and greens, so I mix that and I'll put in whatever bean I have, whether it's a chickpea or a black bean, and sometimes I'll put nuts or seeds in there as well. Sometimes I'll eat it plain, and sometimes I'll make my own dressing. Another really easy thing that I like to pull together that's budget friendly is beans and mushrooms. I usually have fresh mushrooms or my canned mushrooms on hand. I don't prefer to use the dehydrated ones for this particular meal, but I will make them and saute them with seasonings, and then I always have rice or potatoes that's already cooked on hand, and I just put them together, and it's a really quick and easy meal that is really cost effective. Millet is a really healthy grain, and guess what? It is also budget friendly. This bag will literally make so many meals. I usually double up my millet so I have extra in the fridge, and then I will mix it with greens, whatever veggies I have, and then I also like to pair it with tofu for that extra protein boost. This is a super delicious meal, and it's really quick to pull together. I've made this meal before on the channel, but it's my one pot pasta meal. I like to put tofu in there as well because it really bulks up the meal, and that way you feel really satisfied. It's super low cost because you can always buy pasta, cheap at the store.
And of course, there are healthier varieties, so try to look for the healthiest variety. But if you can't and you're on a real big budget, just get whatever you find. And that way you have, at least a home cooked meal, and you can always bulk it up with healthy veggies. And the sauces, again, that will vary depending on where you're buying it. You can buy them on sale a lot. So this was not my favorite sauce, but it was the one that was more cost efficient. So that is what I bought. I don't really fuss about it. I just buy whatever's on sale, whatever I feel is the healthiest, and I don't, obsess about it anymore like I used to. But again, this is a really customizable meal. You can throw in whatever veggies need to be made. You can, pick your protein source and throw that in, and you have a really big quantity of food, and you're going to have a lot of leftovers. Another one of the meals that I really like to make that's budget friendly is my potato and mushroom and veg bake. It's really, really simple. All I do is cut my potatoes pretty thin, but I don't like them like medallion super thin, if you know what I mean. I like them a little bit thicker, and I, put them on top of my mixture once I've cooked everything up. But basically, I use whatever mushrooms. If I don't have fresh, then I'll use canned. If I don't have canned, I always have dry mushrooms. So these are the dry ones that I rehydrated, and I rehydrated them overnight, and they worked out perfectly. So I like this meal because you can throw in whatever extra veggies you need to use up. So on this day I had cabbage that I had to use up. So guess what? The cabbage and carrots went in. I am very fuss free. I also had some zucchini that I had to use up. So that went in as well. And this is how you can bulk up your meal and make it really, really healthy and nutritious by adding a whole bunch of different veggies in. It's a no waste meal as well. I say low budget because you can use frozen. Again, you can use canned, you can use frozen veggies, and it's really, really going to be filling and satisfying. Potatoes, you can buy inexpensively. You can buy them on sale. Potatoes really go a long way. And again, potatoes are that thing that's so satiating, and you eat them and you feel satisfied and full. So I like to top my skillet with my potatoes, and then I just broil it in the oven so it gets nice and brown, and it's so, so delicious, and again, super, super satisfying. So, you can create these meals, these low budget meals, and still make them really, beautifully looking, super, super healthy. You can't control all the conditions. You can't control, certain things like the pasta sauce, going back to that meal, but you just do the best that you can. And in the end, you are still winning because you are cooking at home and you're trying your best and you're trying to use real ingredients and real food. So I think you got to give yourself some credit. And of course, any way we can, we got to save some money. So these are really easy ways of doing so. Okay, so lentils are one of my favorite whip together meals that is low cost. You can buy canned lentils really cheap and on sale a lot, and they are really, really healthy. So they're going to give you a lot of fiber and protein. You're going to feel really full, and it's not going to be an expensive meal. I will eat these with tortillas as a snack for extra protein. Super delicious. Just season up your lentils with whatever seasoning, like chili powder or whatever. What else do? I throw it in salads. I will make a sloppy joe with them with tomatoes and seasonings and put them on a nice whole grain bun and eat that. I just use lentils in so many ways. You can do lentil meatballs, which is going to be an upcoming video because I think they're super easy and really, really nutritious. But yeah, lentil meatballs, again, you can make like a lentil meat loaf, super inexpensive. If you can buy them dry, even better, and just make them yourself. But if you're in a pinch and you want a quick and easy meal that's also budget friendly, then go for the canned lentils, buy them on sale, and buy a whole bunch. So that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some inspiration for some budget-friendly, quick and easy meals. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.